Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Now with the main headlines. Office of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi announces the 1st of Shawwal will be on Saturday the 22nd of April. Shirazi World Foundation hosts important Islamic meeting in Canada. Misbah al-Hussein expands charitable activities in Kirkuk to blessed month of Ramadan. London Rasul Al-A'zam Husseiniya commemorates an anniversary of late Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Muhammad al-Shirazi. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear viewers. This is Yunus Dawood and you're watching Shia Waves live from Imam Hussein TV 3. The office of His Eminence, the Supreme Religious Authority, Sayyid Sadiq al-Hussein al-Shirazi, announced that tomorrow, Friday, is the last day of the blessed month of Ramadan. The office has said on its official website that tomorrow, Friday, the 21st of April 2023, that Ramadan the 30th is the last day of the blessed month of Ramadan, 1444 after Hijrah, and that the first day of Shawwal will be on Saturday, 22nd of April 2023. Shirazi World Foundation hosted the 21st meeting of a night of solidarity, love, compassion, and cling on the divine rope. Many clerics and heads of Canadian Islamic centers attended the meeting, which took place in the invitation of Sheikh Saleh Sibawayh, the representative of the Supreme Shia World Authority, Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq al-Hussein al-Shirazi. Some of the centers represented in the meeting are Ahl Bayt Center, Ayatollah Khou'i Center, Imam Hussein Foundation, Lebanese Islamic Center, Al-Zahra Mosque, Al-Hawra Zainab Foundation, Islamic Foundation of Canada, the Sunni Affiliated Islamic Forum, Al-Huda School, Ali ibn Abi Talib School, Ibn Sina School, Imam Sahib al-Zaman Association, Karbala Youth Association, Asduqani Afghanistan Ja'fari Foundation, Haydari Shia Institute, Imam Al-Hassan Al-Mujtawa Center, Amal Movement of Lebanon, the Noor Center, and the Tawheed Center. Also, the Consul General of Iraq, as well as other members of the Iraqi Consulate in Montreal, were present, as well as the guests in this meeting. Sheikh Saleh Sibawayh opened the meeting with a short speech conveying the greetings and good praise of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi to the audience. He then spoke some of the problems that plague the Islamic society in his speech. Sibawayh also identified that the only solution to these problems are solidarity of Muslims and Islamic centers, adding, "My proposal will attract the attention of Canadian government officials." Some of the guests thanked the representative of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi for bringing the Islamic centers together and holding this solidarity meeting for many years in the month of God's mercy and blessings. They emphasized that the solidarity as a means to advance the goals of the Islamic society in Canada and discussed current problems affecting the community, especially teenagers and young people in Canadian schools. It is worth mentioning that the official letter of the World Parliaments Union, in which efforts of Sheikh Saleh Sibawayh for the reapproachment of religions are recognized, was also read during his gathering. At the end of the Islamic meeting, all the attendees were served a suhoor feast. Misbah al-Hussein Foundation for Relief and Development, affiliated with Karbala Office of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi, may Allah prolong his life, expanded its ever-increasing charitable activities during the holy month of Ramadan. Accordingly, as part of the distribution of 100,000 food packages in the Ramadan project, the foundation worked with the Toskhormato charitable community to provide a number of food packages to needy families and orphans in Kirkuk province in the northwest of Iraq. Part of Misbah al-Hussein's statement reads that during the holy month of Ramadan, this institute distributed food packages in different cities of Iraq and other cities in Islamic countries, including Afghanistan, as part of humanitarian schemes. Needy families and orphans in Iraq's Kirkuk province also received a portion of these packages. The statement added that the families receiving these food packages thanked and appreciated the attention and care shown by Grand Ayatollah Shirazi and centers affiliated to His Eminence towards needy families, especially during the dire economic conditions they face. Let us remind our respective viewers of today's headlines. Office of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi announces the 1st of Shawwal will be on Saturday the 22nd of April. Shirazi World Foundation hosts important Islamic meeting in Canada. Misbah al-Hussein expands charitable activities in Kirkuk in the holy month of Ramadan. London-based Rasul Al Husseiniya held a commemoration ceremony on Thursday night, April the 20th, to mark the death anniversary of Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Muhammad al-Shirazi, may Allah bless his soul. The event was attended by a large number of religious and academic figures, as well as followers of the eminence. Nazar al-Haddad, an Arab poet, recited poetry in praise of the deceased marja, Hujjat al-Islam al-Muslimin Sheikh Hassan Raihani, who attended the event from Norway, gave a speech on valuable merits and works of Sultan al-Mu'allifin. A speech by Hujjat al-Islam al-Muslimin Sheikh Abdul Hassan al-Asadi from Denmark concluded the ceremony. It is worth mentioning that Hujjat al-Islam al-Muslimin Sheikh Rahman al-Ha'ir, representative of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi, also attended the ceremony and welcomed the guests. Mr. Qasim Fahad, director of the European Central Office of Imam Hussein Media Group, also attended this commemorative assembly. And now we'll continue with some short news. UNICEF warns many... And now we'll continue with some short news. UNICEF warns many children are more likely to die from vaccine-preventable diseases because of a severe decline in routine immunization during the COVID-19 pandemic. New data in UNICEF's States of the World's Children 2023 report show a significant drop in confidence in the importance of vaccines for children in 52 out of 55 countries studied, noting that vaccination rates have declined by more than a third in South Korea, Papua New Guinea, Ghana, Senegal, and Japan. Only 3 countries, China, India, and Mexico, did the data show people remain positive about the health benefits of vaccination. The report finds that 67 million children, nearly half of them in the African continent, have missed out on 1 or more vaccinations due to disruptions in immunization services during the 3 years of the COVID-19 pandemic. A new research paper has been presented on the relationship between conflict and organized crime, specifically in Afghanistan. The paper gives the account of the already existing literature on Afghanistan's crime and conflict, identifying some of the key insights that has led the country into nearly 4 decades of extreme conflict. The key themes in the research paper are exploring how conflict has fueled organized crime in Afghanistan and how organized crime has fueled conflict, how conflict over the control of illicit markets and has resulted in how organized crime has contributed to the erosion of the state. The paper identifies knowledge gaps and suggests areas for future research. A study has been conducted by researchers from the University of Cambridge, and it states that climate change is fueling deadly heat waves in India and is putting the country's development at risk, reversing its progress on poverty, alleviation, health, and economic growth. Heat waves have had major impacts in the countries, leading to power outages, increased dust and air pollution, and accelerated glacial melt in the north of India. Since 1992, more than 24,000 people have died because of heat waves in India, and the impacts are expected to get worse as heat waves become more frequent, intense, and lethal due to the climate crisis. India is currently facing a collision of multiple cumulative climate hazards, said the researchers. Long-term projections indicate that Indian heat waves could cross the survivability limit for a healthy human resting in the shade by 2050. The study also shows that millions of people in India are vulnerable to climate change than the first thought. More than 90% of the country could be severely impacted by heat waves, falling into an extreme heat danger zone according to the heat index, the study also found. An Indian court acquitted 69 Hindus, including a former minister from the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party, the BJP, of the murder of 11 Muslims during communal riots in the western state of Gujarat in 2002. The case related to the deaths of 11 Muslims who were killed after their homes in the city of Ahmedabad was set alight by Hindu mobs who rampaged through the streets during communal riots that took place in February 2002. According to an investigation into the attack afterwards, there was no police help received by Muslims and they were simply at the mercy of the miscreants. Over the past 2 decades, the state has been accused of protesting alleged Hindu perpetrators, including those now who hold some of the most powerful political offices in the country, as well as obstructing justice, intimidating Muslim victims, and recently releasing some of the few who have been convicted of rape and violence against Muslims in the riots. In this particular case, 86 Hindus were accused, but only 17 had died during the trial. Lebanon has deported over 50 Syrians over the past 2 weeks, according to an army official. The Lebanon's army intelligence has been tracking down refugees without official documents, arresting them and having them expelled through border officials. It should be mentioned that thousands of Syrians escaped to neighboring Lebanon following the outbreak of the violent civil war in the country in 2011, when the anti-regime protest was sparked by extremist groups such as ISIS. We have reached the end of today's Shia Waves show. Let's remind our viewers of today's headlines. Office of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi announces the 1st of Shawwal will be on Saturday, the 22nd of April. Shirazi World Foundation hosts important Islamic meeting in Canada. Misbah al-Hussein expands charitable activities in Kirkuk in the holy month of Ramadan. London's Rasulullah A'zam Husainiyya commemorates anniversary of late Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Muhammad al-Shirazi. You can view the latest news on Shia Waves website, and you can send news of your city or country to be published on our news agency. Contact us on the numbers at the bottom of the screen. This is the end of today's news. Thank you for watching, and we pray to Allah the Almighty to hasten the reappearance of the Master of our time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
الصبر بعدك يا خويا.
Personally would recommend that you'd have a career change completely.
Every